Fun.
Things are good. How are you doing?
Not so bad.
That's good to hear. So, I've hit record so we can begin. Welcome to your first
Great.
session. I hope you're excited. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm
Uh,
excited.
That's
Um,
good. Suppose I told you what to say there. Little telegraphed of me. So, just to kind of head back to your questionnaire, I just wanted to so you mentioned that you wanted to improve your understanding of neutral, better recognize what your opponent wants and is going for. You want to figure out your habits, good and bad, and be more mindful of what's getting you punished. I think these are all admirable goals, and you mentioned you have the more tangible goal of reaching Master with Kirby.
mhm.
With all this in mind, how do you, usually with higher level players, I know who you are and I know you're pretty good, so with higher level
Okay.
players, I
Thanks.
usually trust them. You're welcome. But yeah, I trust you guys to, y'all to be a little bit more self-directed in certain respects. If you want my guy, me to, provide feedback on what I think we should do, then I can absolutely do that, but I'm curious, how do you foresee this time being productive?
Yeah, I think both ways is productive. I find that, like having it self-directed like that, I think that's good. And I think part of why I want to use this time with you is because I feel like I'm at the plateau of my self-directed improvement. I feel like I have even like since yesterday when we were talking about it
Mm-hmm.
on Discord with the questionnaire, I find that I'm starting to like rewire some things already, thinking about overshoots and undershoots and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically getting a more accurate thinking of it, you know? So
Yeah, you're more
so
conscious of those things now that you know that they're there.
right. And it's like it's a little more defined now in my mind. So now I'm like I was rewatching some plays earlier and some VODs, and I was looking and saying, "Oh, okay, that was an overshoot. This was an undershoot." Stuff like that. Just trying to get better at identifying them and
Yeah,
and seeing them that way.
absolutely.
I
So,
feel like in a match, I'm not doing that. I'm not saying I'll overshoot here. Let me find a productive overshoot. I don't feel like I do that.
okay,
It's like I feel like I just feel it and I go for it.
that
But
makes
I'm
sense.
trying to be more mindful of that.
Yeah, so here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's start with, since it sounds like your playstyle is going through some changes just from the questionnaire, why don't we start with some live coaching? We can take a look at you as you're playing some ranked or unranked in real time. And then draw some observations based on what we're seeing there, and then kind of come up with a game plan on how we want to see you, on where we want your playstyle to go next. How does that
Okay,
sound to you?
sounds good.
Awesome.
Is that the broadcast code?
That most certainly is.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, and on your end, do you hear any loud noise or any like weird feedback from my computer?
I hear what sounds like it's almost like a car parking into or when a truck is backing up or something. Every now and then, but I just assumed it was something outside.
Gotcha. Yes, currently I'm at work. Hopefully, it's not like too loud or
Oh,
it's not.
where do you work?
I work in a power plant, and so I've got a 80,000 horsepower um, boiler
Oh,
steaming behind me.
oh, so that's where it comes from. It's quite
Yeah,
literal. There, you are the
yeah,
boiler guy.
exactly.
Nice. And is that how you like to be referred to?
Yeah, I think boiler guy's fine. My name's Dave. You can call me Dave if you want. No worries.
I mean, I'm David, so I feel like that's going to get very confusing quickly. So boiler guy it is.
Yeah, we'll stick to tags.
Yeah, I like
Eh, eh,
tags.
excuse me, your name is KirbyKaze?
I go by KK usually.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, nice to meet you, boiler guy.
Right back at you, KK.
Yeah. We bumped into each other on the Kirby court. It's quite nice. Do you have
Right.
the spectator code? Do you know how these work?
I think so. I just start broadcast and then I can enter the.
Yep. But you have to have the game running.
Oh, okay.
There you go. I can see it here.
Okay, great.
So let me just make sure I'm on normal speed and I don't blow up my eardrums. There we go. And I'd start with a game of unranked just to get into it to make sure it's working before we jump into any ranked.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm. This is like the mic. This is like the mic check sort of, but yeah.
Right.
You know, it's funny. I was actually working with Plu earlier today.
Oh, nice.
Yep. We went over like some 50-50s and some ideas for like how to more productive to use of like down throw in certain spots. It was interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I've been playing with Plu a lot over the last few months.
Nice.
Oh, good. I lined up with Hungry Box. Great.
Sick. I can see us, so we are good. Let's fight this guy. Let's, up through. I was gonna say grabs. I think would be a big one here. Let's try not to like get. Yeah, we don't want to we don't want to drift into him so much.
Right. Let me see what I can do this time. I played him last night.
He's very good.
Ooh.
We're too aggressive.
Yeah.
Slow down and like look for your tilts. Remember, you're the character is better on the ground than his.
Right. No.
Like the idea. I would have probably just taken the hammer.
Yeah, I wanted to see how his mashing was.
Makes sense.
And it's good.
I feel like generally that is something when you're fighting somebody who's like, you know, top 6 in the world, top 10 in the world. I think that generally like them having good execution is something we can typically count on. We're wave dashing into him in spots where we're like actually ready, where we're actually able to grab him. You notice that, right?
Okay.
Like you're kind of like already in the spot where you're like, because your grab is pretty disjointed.
Right.
Nice. Nice, he's gonna go over you. Yep. Because remember, when you're controlling the, just don't even interact with the back air. You like, there's no good that comes from the interacting from that. It's safe on shield even if he full hops it, like full hop rising it.
Right.
So like, and if he short hop back airs and auto cancels it away from us, it's also safe. So there's no point in trying to like make that work. I think we need to up smash there, but that's okay. Or F smash. Up through? Oh, okay. I guess that's better. Positionally. Yeah, we're dead.
Yes. Yeah, he bodied me yesterday too.
That's not actually like, so that looks rough, but that's not as bad as you might think it is, believe it or not.
He might give me another match. I think I'll try and.
Yeah, let's see if he does.
I'm hoping to play him some more. I played him like a couple matches last week, and then yesterday he played me one match, and then.
Okay, if he hangs out, then let's definitely fight him because like we want this experience.
Yeah, no, I was really happy for that. I'm glad.
Oh, Squid? Squid's good. Okay, so what are your thoughts on this one?
So I try to play like a laser. I try to play around the lasers, and there we go. I need to get some percent on him too.
How does the RTC work on him? Does it work?
No. Not at 0, especially. If he techs away.
How do you feel about like hard reading that with inhale?
I like it.
Because like it's a meaty grab, right? So it's like pretty good against like a lot of the things he can go for. Like on recap, so it doesn't have to be as perfect. Nice. So cool thing about Kirby's about Falco's back air, do you know the frame data on his like landing lag?
Is it frames 8 frames?
10. So you,
Oh,
if
it's
you're
10, yeah,
if you're spaced for your grab to like grab his leg when it's like hitting the ground, you can just like throw out the grab. You don't have to like move forward on it.
Ah.
Same thing with his down air, because his down air is 9. So like, that's just like a important like micro thing.
Right. Ooh.
Dirty. Love that.
Gotta love it. Yep.
Easy clap.
Wow.
What a nerd.
I'm getting all the mashers today.
Nice.
Ooh, almost got him.
Try staying more on stage for those. Yeah, like I was gonna say down tilt makes a ton of sense there. And then just grab the edge and go from there.
Yeah.
Like once you force him low, like you just like play like the standard like you just play a standard ledge hop air position and like it should clean up a lot of these. See what I mean? Like it's just like boom boom.
Right.
Because we're basically using like a mini Marth down tilt in that spot. Oh, I love that poke.
Right.
Interesting. How do you feel about like so that nair? What is that nair covering?
I think for me it's more just to keep him on his toes. Like I could back air there, but I don't use nair that often. I think like in that type of situation,
So,
and I feel like Bear's really just not that great, like at low percents like this, because he can like ASDI down.
and you can't on nair.
And I think I'm just trying to keep it slippery, you know?
Okay, but like I would.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like at the same time, like back air structurally make like why is back air bad against ASDI down and nair isn't? That's like my question. Like I I feel like we're trying to explain something with like an explanation that maybe isn't necessarily like logical. It's just like
yeah.
Because I feel like with a timing mix-up on that back air, we can still get the same effect as that nair, just with, like, a better move.
Right.
Because, yeah, like, so, like, the nair, you'd put the nair there, like, and I guess the idea is that the, like, hitbox is more active. Like, when does nair hit? Like, 10-ish, I think?
Yeah, it's frame 10.
Yeah, so, like,
And
that's...
it lasts for, like, 30 frames.
Okay, so that is an argument in favor of that is actually a significant argument in favor of nair. Does it make sense to potentially full hop it in some of these spots then, so that we can actually use its duration effectively?
Right, I think that makes sense. Ooh, I missed.
You fair him there. So you weak hit him, right? Like after you hit the nair, or the down air, you fair him against the wall because he can't tech it because it doesn't knock him over yet.
Oh, I missed my tech. I'm going for the tech there on the stone at the ledge.
I'm really impressed with how structured your like fighting is. It's really good. This is like kind of the things I always figured Kirby was really good at. Like, the way that you're playing the foot... Like, you're just playing, like, a really well-structured footsie game. And I think that against characters who don't just, like, abuse, like, movement to, like, just, like, shut you out, like Fox, basically, I think that this type of playstyle makes a ton of sense. Like, this is, like, how I figure, good Kirby is supposed to look. I don't see any faults in terms of, like, what you're actually doing, though. Like, this just reminds me of how I played Sheik, because I always figured that those two fight similarly. Because they both, like, have, like, low air mobility, good wave dash, good tilts. Like, they both have, like, yeah. But, like, their main, like, their safest moves are also their aerials. So they have to use their aerials, but, like, yeah. God, your wave dashes are perfect. Jesus.
Got him. It's gonna get a grab there.
Nice. Nice. See how like that? It just has like it adds such better frame data than like your aerials do in that spot.
Right.
Unless you can specifically set up back air.
Right. Should have wave dash forward on the up smash.
Yeah, probably. You could. I would have considered like going for. I would have considered like looking for like the inhale to steal his power. Like on that too. Like it's a hard read at like 0 on like the rollaway, but like the reason I like it is because like if we get it, like our life becomes way easier on the for the rest of the stock.
Right.
I also think you can generally assume they're not going to roll to the edge.
Right.
And if they do, then like that's something to note because like that can be a way that we can win games. Also, like he ASDI'd down on that, but because you spaced it, you were like totally safe. Had you like not like had you reacted to the fact that you were outside of the range of his counter hits, like his grounded counter hits, you could have actually just punished him for going for that down tilt or whatever the hell it was.
Okay.
So this is why another reason why I like back air, because it's like you can kind of do like the Peach thing where you just like nudge him and like stay outside of his like counter hit range. Because it's like that's a big part of fighting Peach in general, right? Like tapping her and then like just like, okay, we're too far for her to down smash, but she went for it anyway.
Right.
Try to guess with the inhale on the tech roll on one of these.
On the tech roll, yeah.
Yeah, just like give it a whirl. Because like, let's assume that he like, it's a 1 in 3, like, but.
And I really hope, yeah, he's not gonna tech towards the ledge, right?
Yeah, because like, why would he, right?
Right.
If he does that, he's risking his stock, like on that play.
Right.
Because we can carry him off with the inhale.
Which I think is so tasty to get that.
Yeah, but like we also like, come on, we're fighting Squid. Like,
I'm not familiar with him. You know,
he was
you know
top.
what his region is?
He's been top 100 before.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he like assuming this is real Squid, like he's quite good. That should be a kill. Grab edge. Yep, he's dead.
Oh, they got me.
I think that we're going for like we didn't have to go for that special to like do anything.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I feel like that's a pretty bad habit of mine.
Yeah,
I like to go for this.
I'm noticing that you do that with the stone too. Like I think that some of your stones are really good, but like some of them are definitely like we could have gotten away with that.
Right.
Falco doesn't get knocked over by landing fair, right? Or
He does.
I wonder if that's like makes sense to go for more in early game, like at the end of jumps, like kind of like delaying it to just like take the landing hit. Like especially if we're doing like empty jump style stuff.
Right, I think it is. Actually, the nice part about it is it's set knockback.
Nice, that was gorgeous. Love that edge guard. Yeah, no, I know that much. I wasn't sure if it worked on him specifically.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because it's like at all the percents, it's cool. We can get like a cool follow up. It's kind of like a budget. It reminds me of Shine, like Fox Shine. Oops. It reminds me of like a budget Shine.
Yeah, this is definitely Squid. Squid homies.
It's homie.
Yeah, Squid's a wonderful person. I think we down smash there. No, come on.
I went to the...
You know better than that. Just get on stage and fight him. Like, stop trying to cheese him. Try to focus more on containing him when he's in the corner. I noticed that you're very jittery when it comes to like repositioning, but like once you already have like your advantage state or like your positional advantage with him being pinned, like don't worry about just be patient, let the hits come to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Because a lot of times, like, I feel like you get him into a... not now, but, now. Just, let him come to you. See what I mean? You got on...
Okay.
You got in... Yeah, you got onto the platform, but, then you had no plan on what you do. So it's just, what I'm saying here is you don't have to necessarily have a plan if you're in a good spot, because you can just kind of, see what happens.
Right.
That's also one of the dangers of going for a high duration move like that. It kind of locks you into it for longer.
Right.
So he waited for you to land there. That's one of the reasons I like back air, because you can kind of time it more and then transition into other actions more cleanly. The duration of Nair is not always a good thing about it.
Right. Yeah, I feel like Nair, we're kind of taking a move that's just not that great and trying to find something useful from it, you know?
I think it would make more sense if you were throwing that Nair off stage at him. If you did, an in that spot where you did down air, right? I would say that, Nairing and then fast falling makes a ton of sense.
I should have held.
But yeah, Nair's high duration to me is it makes it the type of move where we want to throw it at the opponent and off into positions where its hitbox isn't a problem. Not so much for when, because the problem I have with it with a lot of these edge guards is that it only works versus the illusion, and it only works if he runs into it if he runs into it. If we could coordinate the auto cancel, that would be a way to make that work. But it's just we're just, I feel like we're being very optimistic with it.
Yeah. I think that was one of those stones.
Yeah, I would say so.
Probably didn't need to do that.
That's okay. So I think that yeah, we're going for a lot of things that we don't necessarily need, and then okay, we've got that back here. That back here is, I think, a good example of where when people are behind Kirby, they usually are expecting the up tilt and the bear for shielding. So I think that something we might want to be exploring there is turnaround grab.
Okay, yeah. Oh man, missed.
Because yeah, that Nair also meant that we weren't able to ledge dash and then covered the platform where he went.
Hmm.
Nice. See, why waveland into him there? I think that we got to the ground safely, so that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. So that is the number. Let's hit pause here. That is the number one habit that we need to that stone is, I think, the number one thing that is hurting us. So
yeah,
what could we do instead of that stone when the stone is not on the table? When the stone is not a safe one.
Right. Yeah, I think really the Kirby does have a little time, we can kind of float over to the top platform. And I'm only saying that to me, it really just feels like a mix-up, a deeper mix-up. I feel like the best thing we can do is just try to drift to this ledge.
Okay.
You know, because we can sort of mix up where we land, but Kirby's drift isn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't try to rely on. I don't want to be out in, like, you know, I'm trying to think about, like, if I was up there and I wanted to try to land on the top platform, like, Falco can chase me up there, you know? And if I want to retreat back, I'm not going to go that far the other way, you know? So I feel like maybe just do a normal drift. Maybe I can do, like, a turnaround, like a double jump turnaround, and so I can threaten with Bear on my way down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I think that makes I think that makes a lot more sense than what we're doing, because, like, here, let me just share my screen with you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just making one of my handy dandy diagrams. So if we have like this, and we have like Battlefield's got like its tri-platform formation, something like this. These should probably be higher up. That's okay. We'll fix that. But, like, basically we have something like we have a layout kind of like this, and then we have Kirby. Like, I feel like if Kirby's up here, I feel like if we put out our back air like this, like once we have access to our back air, like we have a box that kind of covers our, like, below us somewhat effectively. Like his hitbox is kind of like here on him.
Yeah.
So, like, with our combined with our double jumps, because we can use it, we can drift this way, right?
Right.
Like, we can double jump this way to, like, pull the wall with us and, like, guard, like, this area down. And then all we have to do is just, like, barely veer in at the end, and, like, land here, and then we're in a fairly reasonable position. If we can somehow, like, land here, that's also okay, because, like, then we can, like, put up our shield. Like, once we get our shield, I think, our shield out, like, Kirby's shield is quite good, so I think that, like, that gives us a lot to work with, but we just have to find a way to get into these spots more effectively.
I see.
And I think I think turning our back is, like, a pretty good option. The other thing that might happen is, like, if we're, like, drifting around with our back to people, like, and we see them, like, back up from us, like, that's more likely to get them to, like, back off and maybe, like, head over here and shoot lasers or whatever. And then at that point, the stone is basically, like, the stone or just drifting in is basically free. But, like, if we're not, I think the problem that we're having is we're not, like, using our most powerful tool to, like, ward people off from us.
Right. Yeah, and I think, because kind of what I'm doing, I feel like I tend to play this, to me it feels like a mini game with the stone to the ledge there.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, he was beating the game. He was working it.
Well,
you know, and so, like,
if there's a way to make the stone always techable, like if there's a way to line yourself up so you're always finishing here, I think that's worth looking into. But, like, we need that kind of consistency, because if we don't have that, then the stone is, like, we're risking our stock.
Right. And I think the value of what I should be doing is using stone as the mix-up instead of always going for stone. You know, I feel like I do it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
To the point, and like you said, even, like, some of them, I don't need to do it. I could just fall back to stage.
Yeah.
You know, there's no reason that I'm doing stone half the time, and just, like, even right there, like, he caught on and was punishing me for it, and it's like, I just keep on doing it.
Well, the other thing here is I've noticed, like, generally speaking, when you're recovering from this spot, like, you seem to have a good amount of threats, because you've got your up air, like, here, you've got inhale, like, here. So, like, you have a good amount of things, like, when you're kind of coming from below and going up, that seem to work, like, not every time, but, like, works enough of the time that I think it's worth, like, investigating what's on these options a little bit more. So maybe, like, even if we stoned to go to this spot, maybe that's safer.
Yeah, we can drop down a little low, because I think especially on Falco, like, there's only so low he's willing to go down most of the time, you know.
Well, also, like, you're kind of creating a mix-up here, because, like, maybe the mix-up is more about, like, whether or not we go down here.
Right.
Instead of stopping here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is now like a distance mix-up that, like, makes some amount of sense.
Yeah, I do think that's worthwhile. I think I need to be better at playing that. Just right there on that recovery situation in general. I feel like I end up kind of floating up there, where we have our back air example.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, you know, like, the more I think about it, I do think that turnaround bear is really the play.
Most of the
anyways.
time, yeah.
Yeah, because like even like, like looking at the hitbox of back air, it's the weak hit of back air is so disjointed compared to Kirby, whereas the strong hit is not that disjointed. It waits until like the last, I think it's like the last 7 or 8 frames of it is like a pretty big hitbox there compared to where his feet actually are. So it's like, it's kind of nice. It surprises people.
Yeah, it's like a little bit
kind
more
of getting
like
flipped by it.
It's more like here relative to him compared to this on startup. Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? So I feel like even having that late drifting big old hitbox there, even though it's not that big, but relative, that it's a little more threat than trying to play the stone game, which I think is kind of like I should only be using as the deep pocket mix up,
Well, the other thing here is by like turning your back here, we're also opening up teeter cancel Waveland into shield as well. Because if we can come in at this kind of angle, like it's dangerous, but like if we can clip here, we can also access the teeter.
Right.
So we have like a lot going on here.
Yeah, the teeter. I think that's good.
Because like it's potentially like it's potentially like a way that we can come in immediately block. Like we teeter, we release stick, we immediately block, and then we're like safe.
Right.
Yeah, like that's potentially quite strong. We can also use Kirby's huge light shield to our advantage there too, which is also a thing.
Right.
Like there's a lot going. I think that back airing is definitely the play, and I think that back airing will also like make it so that you can like use these things more effectively when they're on the table. But like, I think the big thing is we need to stop like relying on the opponent being knowledge checked by this. Either we have to make this techable every time, and even then I don't really like that plan, because what that means is like the opponent then just like the opponent can then just like get ahead of us in the arms race. Like instead of going for the power hit, they just like down tilt us here or something, or forward tilt us, right? And then all of a sudden we're like in a terrible spot. Like we're not dead immediately, but like we're trading like a bad spot for like a slightly worse spot instead of actually solving the problem. And I think that's the real issue here. Yeah,
I agree. I think it's like bad and then a different bad situation.
Yeah.
Could at least just I don't know. It because it's like. And I feel like that's the Kirby, right? But I also think
we you know what,
there's a play to make,
Well, no, what like we say it's the Kirby, but like I would have never accepted that as like when I was working on Ness's combo game, I would have never accepted that as a solution, as like an explanation for like something. You know what I mean? Like like I've almost beaten like people who are like PR'd in my region. Like I've gone game 5 with MG, and like I would never have gotten there if I had just accepted that like like this just sucks. Like, I remember one time I lost him twice. Like he 3-0'd me the first time I played him, and then the second time when I fought him, I almost 3-stocked him on FD because I just worked on the chain grab follow-ups there, and I was like, yeah, like there's actually some nasty stuff here. So like we have to play to Kirby's strengths here. Like when you have a strength like Kirby's, where like you actually have like multiple like airborne resources, you have a fairly disjointed back air, you've got like kind of like some gimmicky but like powerful like options in like the low recovery position. Like we need to be like kind of like I think we need to be a little bit optimistic about like what we can do with those things, not to the point where it distorts like our decision making, but like we need to be looking at them fairly. Right.
Yeah, I think I try not to come at it from a pessimistic angle, like when I say that, because I agree. I do think there's I like to be realistic, but I do think I should be more optimistic, like even just having the discussion about like where we're going at the ledge and where else we could land to mix it up.
I think
and
there's a lot of value here.
It's like, there's a lot of options that I think the biggest thing that Kirby needs to do to like to get the win in these, I think this like decides the match, is like Kirby needs to make sure he gets back to the stage there. It's like we can't keep dying. I know that's like every matchup, but it's like Kirby can't afford it, No,
that makes sense, because like at the end of the day, Kirby is a floaty who is like not like, he's not especially difficult to combo, but he's not like easy to combo either. Yeah. Like he has the floaty blessing of like a fairly reasonable health bar when you meet the conditions for that health bar to exist. So like he needs to take it like any floaty character. He needs to make sure that he avoids like the conditions where he's just completely helpless. And I think that this is a good starting point because this helps us structure our recovery better.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a big part of like
worth the $40. No kidding.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think especially even just as honestly, just saying, "Hey, Boilerguy, stop doing stone to ledge so often." It's like, yeah, gotta stop doing that. And like, and then there's the other situation where like instead of just grabbing ledge, I like to do an up B there. I like to go for a cutter. It's silly. Just grab the ledge.
Or if
Kirby's got like a sweet ledge dash.
Or instead of going for the cutter, because if they're waiting for the cutter, that means they're probably like blocking near the edge. Just fucking inhale them, like just let them die.
Yeah.
Like I think we need to represent bigger threats and also like fewer. We need to be like representing a more like diverse mix up when we are leveraging our threats, but we also need to be like not going for our threats quite as much and taking safety when it's available. So I think like what we have is like here, let me share my screen again. So like right now I think our recipe is a little too let me make a new diagram because we're done with that one. Also, how do you like the diagrams?
I like it.
Good.
I'm following.
Cool. So right now I think our pie looks something like this in that we have like if we had to distribute like what our things are, we have like threats, and they're mainly like cutter, and then we have like not threats over here.
Oh, I can't see your screen.
Oh, I am streaming. Can you?
Maybe I need to press watch stream. There it is.
Okay, yeah. Okay, cool.
I like it.
So, not threats. So, like, this is kind of how I view our distribution right now, because you do go for safety, like, of an amount, and this is, like, an exaggeration, so don't, like, read too much into it. I don't mean this is, like, the literal proportion. I need to, like, get way more data for that. But, that aside, we can agree that there's, like, right now, I think what we need to do is we need to split up the pie more like this. We need it to be more like, and it'll vary from opponent to opponent, but I think that something like this, where it's, like, we have cutter not threats here. We have like cutter threats, cutter threats like here, and then we have like inhale over here, like inhale or misc. Like maybe we have air here, right? Like we have because that's not something we're really representing all that much. Like it's there, but like just kind of in passing. And then maybe we have like because these two are both addressed by block, but like this, and then we maybe make space for say inhale here, like a little bit. Because, like, it is an important threat for us to leverage. It's an instant kill. So, like, it is the riskiest, so we don't want it to, like, take up more space than these ones. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, we need a better distribution of things, like, as our starting point. And the idea here is that this isn't static. This changes as we learn more about our opponent. So if the opponent is playing, like, if our opponent is playing hyper passive and not letting us have any of these, we just take this every time. Like this increases as it as needed. This decreases if these two decrease if it turns out this is not adaptive. Like yeah, but we need like a better starting point for like building our understanding of our opponent, because like one of the things that surprised me is that we weren't really adjusting to what Squid was doing at the edge. Despite you being really good on stage at adjusting, I didn't really see many adaptations in the ledge position, and I think it's because we need to like leverage more of our threats so that we can understand how our opponent is reacting to our stuff better.
Sweet.
Does that all make sense, or am I talking crazy? Okay, good.
No, that makes total sense. Absolutely.
I sometimes worry I'm talking crazy, and it's like very disconcerting, but like yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Why Kirby?
I always played Kirby. Oh, I shouldn't say always. I when I was first starting out, like playing competitively, I just felt like playing Kirby.
That's awesome.
That was back in 2007.
Really? So
I went to my first tournament in 2007. It was like in this little comic shop, and it was super tight and crowded, and everyone was sweaty and it was hot.
Where are you from?
Massachusetts.
Okay. You're not... Okay. You're not from, like, Oregon or something, are you? You're not, like, Timmy
No,
secretly. Okay, good.
no,
I would have
no,
been
not
like...
me.
I would have been like, wow,
That'd be
like...
great.
Okay, let's play some game. Let's play more games though, because I think
Okay.
that this gives us a lot to work with. So I'm just gonna kind of like leave it with you to just figure out like how we implement. But if you want my feedback, like let me know. But I think that this gives us a good starting point. Would you agree with that?
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
I think that's good. I think like I said, I think I really need. I feel like I've plateaued in terms of progress, like on my own, you know.
Okay.
So I feel like I do really need that. Not to say that I'm not confident in myself or anything, but I feel like I need that someone in my ear to say, "Hey, the thing you're doing that is getting you killed. Try something else." You know, like sometimes I tunnel vision like that, and that's really helpful to me.
Awesome. Well, if this is something that you want to continue doing, there is a bulk rate offer that we can go over afterwards. But yeah, like let's finish this up. Let's finish up this session, and then we'll kind of like go from there. Are you searching right now?
Oh yeah, searching.
Hype.
Okay, good. A couple more minutes.
Yeah, we've got 20 more minutes.
Ah, sweet. I couldn't remember what time we started at. No worries.
Ah,
Right,
we're doing just fine. All right, cool.
Oh.
We got a fox. He's definitely leaving.
Win accepted. I accept his win. That was an instant 4-stock. Did you see that?
I did.
4-stock before the match started.
Oh, fox players.
Happens so often. That's what I've been saying. Win accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I just count that as a personal victory.
Marth player? Yep.
Nope. Not today.
How do you feel about trying a ranked set?
Yeah, let's try ranked.
Yeah. Let's give this a whirl. I won't be able to see the strikes, so I'm going to rely on your narration skills.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
But yeah, I figure while we're waiting, the bulk rate is just 4 hours for 120 instead of 1 hour for $40.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like the 4th session's free, basically.
Gotcha. Sweet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll think about that. I'll let you know.
Sounds good. For people watching this in the future, that may not necessarily reflect the rates at this time. This was the rate as of July 31st, 2024, and I will not honor this if you quote it to me if the rate has changed. So, yeah, try. I dare you.
I double dare you. All right, let's see.
Let's go, Dave.
Struck Yoshi's, and I'm going to strike Pokemon Stadium and Dreamland 64. And we're going to Battlefield.
And what are we fighting?
Peak.
Ah. Did we not hold down on that one, or?
No, it's not very safe on shield.
Okay.
That forward air. I was hoping to catch him.
See, that was a time we didn't need that.
Right. He's way up there on the plat.
Yeah. All we did was, like, put ourselves in range of, like, her short hop fair. I mean, shield drop fair. Try to, like, not... Once you get into position, try to wait in your crouch a little more. You're very active and very fast, but, like, let's take it at her pace. She's, like, moving a little slower than us. That's okay. We don't have to, like, try to overwhelm her with speed.
I hit the needle and it stalled me.
It hit lagged us. That's okay. These things happen. Nice. See, by hanging out a little bit more off stage, like, this is going better, I think.
I think so, too.
Nice, we used it to our advantage. See, like, that was, like, the double wave dash there. It stopped us from being able to, like, stop an up tilt when she moves out of position. Nice. Perfect, should be a kill.
There it is.
Oh, I like that. How much? What's the window on her? 3?
Oh, for which one?
For the swallow side cancel.
Oh yeah, I think she's a 3.
Okay, yeah, then that's doable. Definitely worth going for.
I think so. I do it on Marth a lot too. Marth is 3.
I think that on her, that the stone there was okay.
Yeah. See, there I am doing it again. Right. I don't need to do it there.
I think the second one was a little ratchet. The first one was fine.
Right.
Just wave dash back. Just wave dash back and grab the edge.
Yeah.
After the up tilt, it's after the up tilt. Yeah, it's hard, like, because you kind of like launched her up. I would say that even if you can't up tilt, try to like do anything that isn't like, try not to up tilt her, just try to like F tilt her or something instead if you can. Unless she's at like unless you can like back your chain her guaranteed afterwards, but like she was kind of high. Like just keeping her like stuck in that B is like kind of the priority.
Right.
Nice. Any way that we can get you to forward tilt after on that whiff punish. Because like the forward tilt is just sliding the stick forward into the forward notch.
Right.
Nice. That was a good cutter. Also a good cutter.
Oh. Not me.
I think that recovery at the end was quite good.
I think I'm gonna take her back to battlefield.
Not FD?
No.
I think we're shielding her I think we're shielding too much. Like, I think we want to like try to rely on our evasion more. Yeah.
Okay.
She's like pretty slow when she comes down with her aerials because of like how she has to aim them so low. So like let's rely on her aerial. Let's try rely on our movement to like dodge her and use our crouch to like break up the momentum. Yeah, like that. Exactly. There we go. Okay, we just didn't have enough jumps to get there. That's okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice, got another kill. When she like fucking around with shield drop up there, I sometimes just jump and inhale her.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Nice. Nice. Mr. CCs, it's fine. Easy clap. Just get into edge guard position. Nice. Beautiful. Great cleanup. What is up with us in the mashers?
Good at mashing today.
I know. What is up with these people?
The audacity.
The curb out. I don't know. Oh my god, I can't believe you went for that. Actually, I can. Ah. I sometimes just gamble the roll there. I know it's not as...
Yeah.
like, it's not exactly, like, good play, but, like... Your recovery looks way better here without, like, the stone and the cutters, like... Like, that cutter was good because you had to, but, like...
Right.
Good game.
Last stock, I always go for the Kirby like that. Absolutely.
Was just correct.
Let me see. So here, I can't go back to... I like to ban Pokemon Stadium on Sheet and keep FD open.
I'd be scared of her, like, trying... So you're not afraid of Dreamland then, right?
Yeah, I think it's better for me overall because Pokemon Stadium is
low kill?
Much worse.
Okay, yeah, get rid of Pokemon.
You know?
Get rid of Pokemon then. I trust you to know your stuff. So we're going FD or Dreamland?
Dreamland.
Okay. I don't think this one's so bad if we get the needles at some point. Nice, that's a kill.
Caught her jump.
Yep, she's dead. Your Kirby's amazing.
Oh, thanks.
You probably hear that a lot, but yeah. Unreal. God, your footsie game is insane. I think if you could be like a little greedier on your like run through back airs and like would find a way to like shuffle them so you can get more frame advantage on them on landing, I think that would be like so nasty. But like that's like one thing I'm noticing with them. Like I feel like there's just like there's a bit of an opportunity there for that specific thing.
Okay.
Because, like, you usually do the high ones, basically. But I'm thinking that, like, especially if they're likely to shield, like, if it's, like, kind of coming out of a mix-up or something, taking the better frame advantage will also give you a better hit on them if they happen to, like, move into it. Because, like, you'll be just doing descending back here, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I think that falling back air is pretty nice.
Yeah, like, see how you did, like, the short rising back air there, and, like, you auto-cancel it, so it's still fairly efficient, but I'm just saying that, like, if we can somehow, like, get, like, a, like, low one, then, like, into our mix-up system, I think that, like, you'll be even better, like, at footsies, and, like, in these, like, scrap situations, because, like, the biggest thing I feel like that I'm worried about is, them just holding their shield more, and then just, like, attacking it as shield on you. Because I feel like a lot of what we do with our aerials just doesn't really address that very well. It's like the one thing that I'm noticing that is just kind of like consistent.
Okay.
See what I mean? Like you still got the hit, but it's more because she like went around your shield onto the platform instead of just naring you. Or back airing out of shield or whatever she had to do.
Right.
Yeah. No jab reset?
I think I misread the situation.
Makes sense. She's dead.
Oh. Not if I let go of the ledge.
Well, not if you don't inhale.
Right.
Because, yeah, that was, I thought you were just setting up the inhale. Because the inhale is checkmate there, too.
Right.
Once she went below this stage, basically, like, and had to be upwards, she can't sweet spot the edge anywhere, so ledge hop inhale just always gets her. Do you know how the sweet spotting rules work in this game?
I'm not sure, actually, to be honest.
So in order to grab the edge, your character has to be meeting two conditions. They have to be doing something that they're allowed to grab the edge during, like a jump, like falling from a jump or an up B, and they have to be falling. They cannot be rising.
Right.
So like once her up B is going sideways, like just pure sideways, and not upwards, she can't actually sweet spot the edge anymore. So you can use that to like get inhales. It also is how you know that like foxes can't sweet spot anymore. When they can't do that like soft diagonal down thing, that's when they lost the ability to do that.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, that makes sense.
Nice.
Want me to do one more?
Yeah, let's play one more.
All
I'm enjoying this. Unless you want to cut it at time. Like I'm cool with that too.
No, that's cool. I'll do one more. I've played this Puff before. I'm playing Puff. Let's see. She struck Pokemon Stadium. So on Puff, I like to strike Yoshi's and Dreamland first.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I'll keep Battlefield and Fountain. We're going to Battlefield. And then I keep Dreamland open too. If we can go to Dreamland, I'll try because she's gonna camp me out.
Oh, Marxist Athena? Oh, I know this person. I know, like, I've fought this person. I think I'm, like, 3-1 on them with Ness.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I always beat this. This guy's, like, I don't know what their deal is. I don't know, like, he, she, like, I don't know what gender they are. I don't know what their deal is, but I just know they play, like, super lame.
Super lame. That's kind of how I go into every Puff.
So, against this character, I would say, like, I think you actually want to, like, fight a little bit more patiently. Try to, like, use your walk for your forward movement more instead of your, like, wave dash. We're kind of, like, doing, like a ghetto chic thing. Where we're, like, forcing her to, like, attack the ground and then popping up with, like, tilts or, like, rising back air when she comes in. Because she has to aim at the ground to hit us, basically. And then we're, like, we're kind of, like, doing the ice climbers thing, where now that we have the lead, we just fuck around on the ground and make her have to come down at weird spots to, like, get us. See what I mean?
Right. I'll take that.
Nice. So we just fuck around on the ground and make her have to, like, attack us in spots where she sucks.
Oh, you're right. Because she just fired off all those moves like that.
Yeah, right?
I didn't realize that was what was happening. Yeah.
So now we get to the ground and we just like, yeah, we don't play into rest. We just like don't let her catch up with like her one way of doing it. And then once we're back on the ground safely, we just like fuck around here and make her like have to descending aerial and exactly. Just take the up throw damage. It's fine. Don't worry about anything else.
That's so funny. I just didn't know.
Hammer.
I was afraid I was gonna fall asleep.
Don't be. You can just mash to wake up. But yeah, like you can see like how once you're ahead, you can just kind of do what ice climbers do against her, right?
Right.
And this will be like, you will play into me. And then you just like beat her up with your like faster normals.
I thought I was gonna die there for sure.
Because like the idea, I think like the biggest mistake that people make versus this character is when they're ahead, they don't like exercise that advantage. So we're still at 79 damage ahead. Like we go up there on our terms.
Right. That was a mistake.
That's okay. No, up air her.
I know, I messed up. No.
It's okay. Don't chase her. Don't chase her.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like remember, like look at the spots where we beat her in, right? They're very specific. Like that we needed to grab the edge sooner. That back air is really good coming down here though. Nice.
I almost had an up smash there, but I messed up.
It's all good. How does this feel though, like structurally? Like in terms like how? Okay, so she got us there. So now we can't just like cheese her with ground game, but we're gonna anyway because we have 6 damage, bitch. Like once
exactly. That is an advantage for the ages. Oh yeah, let me try walking forward. Oh no.
Walk is pretty hard to use effectively, so if it doesn't really come naturally, don't worry about it, just do your normal stuff. But, like, it is worth learning here, and that was a good stone, because she's slow in the air.
Oh no, living.
We need to grab her more. Okay, now we look for up air. Okay, never mind. Yep, just take the damage.
No!
We were close. So what do we get rid of here? Like, what does she get rid of here, and what do we go?
She bans FD, so I'm going to take her to Fountain of Dreams.
Interesting, okay.
So I don't mind camping her out, and we can kind of outspeed her in some spots. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I don't like to go right to Dreamland and make her happy.
I was thinking Yoshi's Story or Pokemon Stadium.
I've been really going away from Yoshi's Story. Like, I used to think that was Kirby's best stage, and now lately I've been really just against it.
Fountain of Dreams is just like Yoshi's Story with like with a makeover, so.
Right.
It's just Yoshi's Story with some lipstick on. It's fine. Nice. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like with our good jump squat. Stop being greedy. Just take the up throw.
I meant to.
Nice. Down tilt. Because we want to stop her from getting onto the edge. Because you drained a bunch of her jumps. One more kills her, I think.
I think so too.
So we like kind of can like look for that, or like look for how she's avoiding it.
Okay. No! Ugh. That hurt my soul.
That hurt her soul. But yeah, this is like what I mean by like, so you remember the Jigglypuff number pad? So when we do that, the problem with like that down throw is we're kind of like putting her into like her we're giving her access to her 4 and 6 by putting her there.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So like, whereas up throw doesn't do that. See what I mean? Because then, like, on those ones, once we, like, force her out of position and she has to, like, attack us on the ground, that's when we can, like, go over and around her and play for her diagonals. Like, that's really, like, been the dynamic of, like, how a lot of these fights are working out favorably. That's why grab is, like, still useful versus her, even if we don't have real follow-ups. Because it throws her out of position. Up throw throws her out of position.
Oh. Ready? I wasn't ready.
It's all good. Nice.
No, wait.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I could have stoned there.
I think
that might have been a stone. Yeah.
I think that was a stone. So, working in a power plant, how'd you get that? I imagine you went to, like, school or, like, a trade or something.
Yeah. I've got some family in the in the field.
Gotcha. Why are we trying to, like, combo Jigglypuff with back throw? Come on, you know better than that.
I did it so late, too.
I know. Okay.
Too late.
So we're gonna hit pause here. So and
Okay.
this will be unfortunately where we part ways. But in terms of key takeaways, there are a few things that I think that we can take further, like from those games. So I'd say like continue to like develop the the recovering tree. We're with Bear. I think that with Bear and the low recovery double jump up air and double jump inhale mix-ups, I think that those mix-ups plus grabbing the edge more with double jump more often. So I think that that's like a big point. I would also say that like versus Puff and floaties we can't combos broadly. Up throw, like pummels and up throw, just like pummels and up throw. No, pummels and up throw, because it's really every time we like lose a throw and we get counter hit, we're getting reversaled for like way more than we can afford, and that's a big deal. The other thing I would say is like down tilting opponents in free fall when they're falling to the edge. Like, that's something I'm not really seeing enough of, especially versus that Jigglypuff, because you had moments where you had drained a lot of her jumps. And if you hit her out of that free fall, like it like broadly aiming down tilt, aiming down tilt and back air and up air at stage features where at stage features where recovering players want to go. Because a lot of times you're just kind of like hitting them where they are, but a lot of times like once you get them into the sharking position, they're drifting in certain ways, and I don't get the impression that you know where you want to cover. So remember, like a lot of these characters interact well with stage features. Like you've got Falco who has like illusion cancels on certain things. You've got like Jigglypuff who has who benefits from like touching an edge and then refreshing, or like grabbing the edge to do that. Being cognizant of those spots so you can like cover where they're going to go, or situate yourself between them and those spots, I think will do you a lot of good positionally.
Okay.
Aside from that, that's really all I got for you. Like I said, your Kirby's insane, so I don't have tons.
Appreciate it.
I don't have tons other than those observations, but I think that this gives you a lot. These are fairly broad things, so they give you a lot to work with.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, and Kirby's kind of obscure. I know that you've got your fair share of Kirby knowledge, so it's really good for me to hear your point of view on it.
No, thank you. Yeah, like I love this character. I think he's so sick. I think he's so sick. Yeah, to guard spots. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna just make that a separate thing. But yeah, no, I think that he's super sick. I think that he's kind of interesting because he's missing one of like the three like main points of the positional triangle. Like he's really bad at overshoots, but like at the same time, like Jigglypuff is too, and like she's a top tier character. I'm not saying that Kirby's like secret top tier or anything, but like I think that like the fact that he's good at the two safest parts of that triangle is is valuable in and of itself. So you know what? Maybe there's more to him. I think there's more to every character that meets the eye. So it's good to be able to talk with somebody else who appreciates the fundamentals.
And I think like for Kirby, it's so interesting because, like you said, there's no overshoot option for him. Not really, unless you make like a really hard read. You've got to like really get in there and go for like something kind of stupid. It doesn't really work, Well, so it makes it hard when like a Puff is camping you out. There's nothing, you can't chase Puff, Well, interesting. Like you can't chase a fox,
Yeah, so interestingly, this is actually why in the Sheik, Falco, Doc, and Samus matchups, I actually quite liked, and Mewtwo, for that matter, I actually quite liked taking their powers, because it gives, like, what is a projectile if not an undershoot and an overshoot, right?
Right.
So like, it sounds goofy, but like that's part of why I liked using the copy ability in certain matchups more, because it just gave me a little bit more like it rounded out certain things that like otherwise I was worried about them abusing those things. Now it's possible I did them in matchups where like I shouldn't have. Like Doc's a little questionable. Samus, like Doc, I think is a little questionable looking back on it, but I definitely like think that like Falco, Mewtwo, Samus, and Sheik, I think it really is worth like investing in investing in opening and taking those, because like a lot of times you have during the edgeguard time to like just get rid of the power, especially with how far Sheik recovers away from the stage, for example. But like, so you still can keep Inhale on the table in some spots, but like even then, like I'd say that like the value of being able to just shoot her and get rid of her, like cover her jump or like get rid of her air mobility is like that in its and of itself often cleans up a lot of up air and back air, like rinse and repeats. So yeah,
that's a good idea. I tend not to go for the copy abilities because I like to keep Inhale free. For the Kirby side, you know, but it's like, I'm not trying to say like, because I do think there's value there. It's like, for me, that's where I feel like I lean to, but I haven't really explored a lot of the copy ability. I don't take them that often, you know?
Yeah, so maybe, so know what? Maybe that's the thing. Like, test like and then for experiment with copy.
Yeah, I think I will, because like even for the Sheik matchup, like I think it's so big that we can crouch Sheik needles just like in a face-off, you know, in a needle duel. And we can wait for the needle and then shoot back. Right? It's like Sheik would have to commit to shield for that. It's like to avoid them, you know, or something. But it's like we get an extra option to deal with Sheik needles.
Your forward jump becomes so much scarier when you can reverse needle store into Kirby's back air. Because you can jump forward, like you can jump forward and threaten back air.
I don't know if you saw this on the Discord. I was doing some labbing on Sheik needle canceling. What's it called? The needle store cancel.
Yep, needle store.
And so Kirby's double jump happens every 27 frames. But if you double jump into a needle and then cancel it, the needle store, you can double jump 11 frames earlier.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's kind of cool. So you can totally like fly way up pretty fast compared to normal. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because yeah, like the Kirby is restricted. Kirby and like all of the puff balls is restricted by like the double jump, like momentum decay and like the set animation time. So like that makes sense. But like, yeah, the needle store, because it's it happens within 11 frames. Like it happens within 11 frames, and then it gets rid of the momentum decay. So yeah, like that actually makes perfect sense.
All right, it's kind of funny, but I do think there's some room to explore. You know, I don't see how that might be too useful, but I do think there's room to explore, like just having needles. Same thing with Samus charge shot. Like, I feel like having access to charge shot, even without firing it, is so big for Samus. Like, they like to just threaten knowing that they're facing you and they have charge shot. So it's like, that's big. I feel like there's a play there for Kirby.
Yeah, so
that makes a difference.
Absolutely. So I will leave this with you, Boilerguy, and if you ever want, once you've like had a chance to sink your teeth into these, if you ever want to like book again, like this was a pleasure, so let me know. But yeah, I hope you had fun, and if you have any feedback for me, shoot it my way. But I'm gonna let you go for now, and happy meleeing.
Thanks. Have a great rest of the night. I had a great time, and we'll stay in touch.
Sounds good. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.